Thanks, listeners, for coming on or listening in, and to our guests for coming on the program today. Our guests are from the Bureau of Land Management, our Elko district, to talk about our public lands and our beautiful amenities and some exciting events ramping up to California Trail Days, California Trail Interpretive Center. Cheryl Miller is here, and I want to say hi, Cheryl, and thank you for being on the program today.
Hi, Lori. Thanks for having me as usual. It's such a pleasure to be on the radio with you.
Thank you. We have so many exciting things to talk about. And Clint Mothershed, of course, who is our fire mitigation, education, and fire trespass investigation specialist. You work all year round, Clint, and this kind of is where we see it pay off, right? This time of year.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Lori. It's great to be here again. This is definitely beneficial. A big chunk of my job is public outreach, public education, and this is definitely an opportunity to reach out to a large demographic of the Elko County population. So, yeah.
Well, we hope that you feel supported. The work that our Elko District BLM does here in Elko County is huge, and it's evident, and the people who are employed in these positions are passionate about what they do, and it definitely makes a difference. So we will just start the program right there, because we know that these are kind of some uncertain times right now, but the business goes on. And in fact, Clint has brought with him a fuels outlook. It gives us an idea of what we might be experiencing when it comes to fire season for the next 4 months. And fire season impacts all of us. It impacts people who live in rural, urban communities, certainly, as well as in the cities. We see that fire impacts the cost of homeowners insurance.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure folks around Elko are hearing that some insurance companies are dropping their customers due to the wildfire threat, and some homes I've heard are inside the city of Elko city limits, and not just on the fringe, but inside the city limits. Friends of ours, actually, it happened to them. So kind of interesting, whatever algorithm they're using to determine this. I know that they use Google Earth as part of what they use to, see what fuels around homes. But some of it doesn't really make a lot of sense when you're talking about fire threats. So, but this spring, for any wildland fire folks that have been around for a long time, such as myself, there were some years in the early 2000s, 2005, 6, and 7, and on those years within Elko District, cumulatively, we burned almost 2 million acres. And we just had our meteorologist, who will actually be speaking at the Elko County Commissioners meeting this coming week. She said that we are looking at 2005, 2006, 2007 type of potential. So we've had a wet, about a few days ago, we had some precipitation. Now it's warming up. And, grass is growing. And now this weekend, if people don't know, it's a good weekend to stay indoors because it's going to be wet. And then it's going to heat back up, and that's kind of just, we don't know how long that back and forth is going to happen, but once we get into June, things are supposed to just dry up and get warm. And so that's pretty reminiscent of 2005, 6, and 7. 2005 was a later season. What they're right now forecasting, obviously it's crystal ball with using the best science that we have, using historical science, is that it'll be the northern half of Elko County and the western half of Elko County. So anything really on the other side of the Rubies, I won't say will be spared. It'll just have a lower potential compared to. And what that really, the main carrier of our wildfires in Elko County is the fine fuel, the grass. So we're going to have a good chunk of that out there, and then you get your sagebrush fuel moistures. They'll start going down once we get into July. And then to tie it all together, the monsoon forecast I said was out last time we met, and a little updated version of that is the monsoons will be weaker than they think right now with the modeling. Anything south of Highway 50 will be wetter precipitation type of events. Anything north of that could be the dry lightened variety at times. So, things are lining up for us to be fairly busy this summer.
Well, we spend a lot of time on our program with you, Clint, appealing to the community, to property owners, to homeowners, business, civic leaders, to keep it clean, to do their work around the property, create defensible space. Because the reality is, most of these fires that damage homes and property are human caused. And it's also a reality that with the budget cuts that we're facing this year, we may not have the seasonal firefighters that we're used to. So we're going to have to work even harder, Clint, to make sure we prevent fires, that we create the defensible space, that we observe things like fire restrictions.
Yeah. The lack of firefighters has been something that's been coming up. The newer, younger generation that we've noticed that they want to have that life-work balance. They want to enjoy their summers. They want to have a job and enjoy their personal life. When I started, it was more like I have a job where I work the entire summer and then I get the winter off. And nowadays, the mindset's a little bit different. So it's been really hard to recruit. There are openings, but we're just not getting candidates that are interested. So where that goes in the future, hard to tell. But the government has provided quite a pay increase for seasonal firefighters to recruit more and to bring them in, and hopefully that'll pay benefits. It'll take some time, but it's a great career. It's a rewarding career, but it's not for everybody. So, but getting into the meat and potatoes, on top of everything else coming into fire season, budget cuts are coming for all of us, and part of my approach the last 8 years in Elko District have been kind of the in-your-face saturation approach, just a constant reminder for folks. You've seen all the billboards around Elko County. You go into grocery stores, people stuff something in your grocery bag about clearing around your home, creating defensible space. I do what I can, go to every event, still be attending the events, and a lot of the local entities have been great about giving us free admission or free, booth space and that kind of stuff. KELK's been gracious enough to allow us to continue to use the digital billboard out front. But you can start seeing some of that messaging that the public would be fairly accustomed to having in their face. That might not be there. I'm starting to lose a big digital billboard, starting to lose some other things that I've used as a tool to minimize human-caused fires in Elko County over the past 8 years. So it's going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to rely more on media moving forward, I believe, to try to help reinforce that messaging.
Absolutely. Well, whatever you need from us, as radio stations, I'm sure the other stations, I know the newspaper feels the same way, Clint, but because you won't be able to have that saturation that you were used to, it also takes money out of the economy that circulates within the community. Advertising dollars count just the same way as sales jobs or, someone buying and selling cars, or it will have an impact, but it doesn't mean that the danger has been mitigated. It doesn't mean that it's something that we can just ignore. We're going to have to work harder to remind our friends and neighbors, right, about cleaning up and preventing fires.
Oh yeah, given the fuel outlook I gave about 5 minutes ago.
Absolutely.
Yes, this is summer to not get lackadaisical. Let's say it could be quite a bit of potential. And so that being said, just need folks to go to livingwithfire.com or nevadafireinfo.org or Fire Adapted Nevada. Those websites have a lot of information for homeowners and property owners about clearing around their properties. Like I say every year this time, we don't have enough fire trucks for everybody's driveways. It's just the reality of stuff. And how they triage when they do structures is the folks that have taken the extra step to clear around their homes are typically the ones that they're going to pull the fire truck in their driveway and do what they can to save it as a wildfire approaches. And that's because we want our firefighters to come home to their families too. So, it takes everybody. It takes a village, right? So, that being said, really what you want to focus on between 0 and 5 feet, it's just removing anything flammable from the exterior of your home in a nutshell. And don't overlook your gutters and that type of stuff. Any branches from your trees that are leaning over, pine trees especially, those juniper bushes, they're known in my world as little green gas cans, have a high oil content. And once they get going, they burn quickly and they burn very hot. So once you get out to the 5 and 30 feet, it's really about mowing the grasses down, taking away any fuels that could actually get up into your pine trees, shrubs, grasses. Just keep it lean and clean is really the best way to put it. So, and if you can afford to pay water, I know some places it's pretty expensive. It's good to keep all that vegetation with some sort of a fuel moisture in it that helps with the fire resiliency.
We do know there is a statewide fire prevention order out. This is typical. It's nothing unusual, but it's something that the BLM does in order to protect the vast array of public lands, some that are in urban interface areas, as we talked about. Some are popular for recreation, but there are definitely some prohibited uses. That includes always, all the time, doesn't matter if it's 4th of July, no fireworks, and also using certain kinds of ammunition, right, Clint?
Yes. So Nevada is managed, 80% of 80% of Nevada is managed by the Bureau of Land Management. It's taxpayers' lands, and we are the stewards. We're shareholders in a way, and we've got to do what we can. And what we've seen over the years is that as soon as cheatgrass cures, which it does very quickly around here, and it's a very fine fuel and it's very receptive to sparks, as we've seen an increase in fires related to shooting. Part of my job is fire investigations. And thank you, Elko County. We don't have too much of that problem here. We have had some very destructive fires that were linked to shooting in the county, but we haven't seen the volume that other places of the state has. So what the state office, the BLM, has done is done a statewide prevention order, fire restrictions until further notice. Well, they actually say it'll remain in effect until the 31st day of October this year, but it's prohibiting fireworks, pyrotechnic, or incendiary devices on public lands, explosive materials, including binary exploding targets. So that would be your tannerite. That binary is just, you open up the container, you open another little container in there, and you pour it in there, and you shake it up, you shoot it, it makes a big, huge boom, and it's really, really, really cool. They've done studies in our fuel type, and those types of targets do and can start wildfires in the right conditions. So that's why those are prohibited. The tracer incendiary or steel component ammunition, there's scientific studies have been done, and it's really about the kinetic energy striking solid objects and the temperatures that are created due to that pressure, the fragmentation of the bullets, and the fact that cheatgrass only really needs 440 degrees to ignite. So when you have low RHs, some wind, and usually they start smoldering, so you can have something, and those bullet fragments have been known to go over 1,000 degrees from what they've done in their studies. So there's definitely potential there. It doesn't happen a ton. Like I've said, people around Elko are pretty responsible, but it's always good if you're going to go out shooting at a non-designated spot, you choose your backdrop wisely. So you just want a dirt hillside with no rocks if you're going to do it. Don't shoot at power poles, please. Don't shoot at steel fence posts. Don't shoot at the bird on top of the steel fence posts. Whatever. Don't That's the mechanism, scientifically that causes the fires to ignite. So, if you are going to shoot, we ask that you do it early in the day. Also, early in the day, we ask that once things dry out, probably about mid-June, that's when you do your defensible space clearing if you haven't done it before that point.
Okay. And remember, we have an excellent Elko County shooting range that is open to the public free of charge. That's a great place to use any variety of firearms. Elko County has the Fire Protection District. Clint has a website now, the new streamlined effort to get those burn permits, and people are encouraged to use that.
Yes, I spoke with Chief Matt Peterson. It's a great process. It really is. Compared to the old way, it's a lot less taxing on the system as a whole, not only the user but the provider. So it's an online application process. Chief Peterson did want me to pass on that this is also a process for certain parts of the city within the city of Elko now, but you will have to call the Elko fire folks to find out if that's the process you need to go through to burn debris. I believe, and I'd have to imagine it's probably the smaller units on the periphery of the city limits of Elko is probably where that focus is.
Okay. Yeah, that's always good. And then we want to remind listeners that everything that Clint's been talking about, you can see Clint you're probably the only crew that we have right now working on this, but there are some special events coming up, including the Elko Home Show. That's a big deal.
Yep, and the Elko County Fire will be there. There'll be some red fire trucks out front, and they will have defensible space materials. Your kids will be able to crawl around in a fire truck and do some fun stuff, get to know the firefighters, meet them, maybe even talk about a career, potential, work. So that'll be going on later into about mid-June, a big event, the Silver State Stampede, and we're hoping It's still in contracting, so I'm not sure where that's going to end up, but to have wildfire awareness night. So it's through a sponsorship type of thing package that we do. So hoping that it'll still happen.
Oh, Clint, thank you so much. And you're welcome to jump back in anytime. I know just in the interest of time, we're going to switch over to Cheryl, but unless there was anything we left out.
No, I know that Cheryl's got a whole bunch of stuff. All I can say, and then I will be done, is that if you do go out shooting, it's good, please have a shovel, fire extinguisher, at least 5 gallons of water with you in case of an unintentional fire start. And then the other thing is, when you have modified exhaust on your motorcycles or any of your UTV, ATVs, those things are prone to causing fires because they make them more efficient by being able to breathe easier. And they do that by taking out certain screens within the exhaust out, and that helps with the performance of the engine, but also allows larger carbon particulate to blow out into the grass. In the right conditions, it will start a fire. Thank you.
Yes. Well, thank you, Clint. I mean, again, it's all about taking personal responsibility. And if you're a parent, you have to think about the civil liability too, because if someone is injured or property is damaged, you could be held financially responsible for that. So
it's been known to happen, unfortunately.
It has. So Clint, thank you. Clint Mothershed from Elko District BLM, mitigation, education, and investigation. That's a big business card.
It is.
Yes. So Cheryl Miller, it's time to check in with you. We appreciate that you bring your colleague with you, and Clint gets to bring us up to date on why we have to be such good stewards and how we can be such good stewards out there. But you get to tell us about all the fun stuff coming to the California Trail Center.
I know, it's so fun to be the fun park ranger. That was really great information, Clint, but a little bit of a bummer. So I'm hoping to get people excited about this summer with all of the cool events we got going on.
Yeah, absolutely. We should start with your ongoing programs, and it looks like you're folding in some of our wonderful community collaborators, making some fabric flowers first thing tomorrow. Is that right? Or on Sunday?
That's right. So on Sunday, May 4th at 1 p.m., we are going to have our wonderful seamstress out, Brenda. Shout out to Brenda. And she's going to be leading everyone through making beautiful fabric flowers. They're very easy. And one of the coolest things that Brenda does is she uses one of our donated old antique hand treadle sewing machines. It was actually donated by a member of the community, and she gets that out. So everyone will get to come out and have a little connection to history and then leave with something beautiful to give to their mom.
Nice. That'll be just in time for Mother's Day. How sweet. Fabric flowers on, I see it's written there now. Yes, so take advantage of that this Sunday, 1 o'clock at the Trail Center. And rolling into next Friday, you often do these Friday programs because it accommodates kids who are out of school, obviously, on Friday.
That's right. We try to mix up the days so that there's something for everyone. So every weekend, you'll see something at the Trail Center going on either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So we try and mix it up a little bit so that there's something for everyone. But we're so excited about Friday, May 9th at 10 a.m. We have Diet coming over from the Northeastern Nevada Museum, one of our partners that we love to work with. And she is going to be reading a book called Locomotive by Brian Floca. And it is an incredible book that everyone will really love. Of course, she's going to be in pioneer garb and all that good stuff. And then afterwards, you will do a locomotive craft. So this is a special one, and we are doing this to commemorate the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad, which was on May 10th in 1869. So this will be a really fun craft to come out and do, but also you'll learn a little bit about history and the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad.
Oh, you'll get to say hi to Diet. She's fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah. Shout out to Diet.
Yes, and to all the collaborators. So that's the Friday, May 9th program at 10 a.m. So a week from today, if you're listening to today's program on Friday. So very cool. And that heads into all these outdoor programs too, which are also so much fun. Cheryl?
Yeah, we're starting to really get into the night sky program, something different to offer for the community and something that families can do at night. I think there's maybe not a lot of things for families to do at night, so trying to fill that gap and offer on Saturday, May 17th at 8 p.m., we're offering Camp Campfire and Constellations. And this one's going to be really fun. It's open to the whole family. We are going to have, of course, a warm, cozy campfire that everyone can check out and hang out around. And we're going to have a constellation scavenger hunt. And then we're going to have some of our telescopes out. We've got these really cool star binoculars that we'll have out. So it will be a really fun night. Make sure you bring something warm to drink, maybe bring a snack, people that you love and want to cuddle with, a blanket, that sort of thing. But it should be a really fun night out for the whole family.
Sounds great. Campfire and Constellations on Saturday, May 17th at 8 p.m. at our California Trail Interpretive Center. Moving right into that Saturday, May 10th, I didn't realize that, but World Migratory Bird Day is coming right up.
That's right. And it's actually that exact day. So Saturday, May 10th is World Migratory Bird Day. And we are going to be celebrating with another one of our partners out at the South Fork State Recreation Area. So from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., there is going to be bird viewing. There is going to be the Bristlecone Audubon Society out there helping people to identify. So if you're like, is that a starling? Is that a flycatcher? I'm not sure. The Bristlecone Audubon Society will be out to help you figure out what all of those birds are. There's going to be an education station. We're going to have Macy out there who's going to be making pine cone bird feeders. So if you've never made a pine cone bird feeder, come on out. We're going to have free posters, free stickers, and here's the best thing, no fee to get in. So normally you'd have to pay a fee to get into the recreation area, but not this time. And they're going to be out at the Tomera Ranch area of South Fork State Park. So you'll go past the main entrance and into the ranch. And if you just Google Tomera Ranch, Tomera, Google will send you there. Also, we have a QR code on our website. If you're not exactly sure where to meet, we've got a QR code that will give you a pin, a Google pin, and get you right there. It's going to be a really fun morning. So if you like birds, if you like being outside, that'll be a great event for you.
Wonderful for Mother's Day weekend. And thanks to the Tomera Ranch for sharing in this project and this wonderful program. They've given us a landmark that Tomera said, look for the windmill. And then you'll know you're at the ranch.
That's right. As soon as you see the windmill, you'll know you're headed in the right direction.
That's great. And then that goes from 9 to 11, and you can turn right around, come into town, and go to the home show. Take mom out and take her shopping, huh?
For sure. Make a full day of it.
Exactly. Cheryl, that's so cool. And then wrapping up the month, because I know we have a lot to talk about for June too, but the scavenger hunt hike is also, now this is back by popular demand, right?
Yeah, so this is another wonderful program by one of our wonderful partners, which is the Nevada Outdoor School, and they're going to do an outdoor scavenger hunt hike. So it'll be a little mix of hiking, a little mix of discovery, and a tiny bit of an adventure. So come on out, and that's at 1 p.m. on, again, a Friday, May 23rd. And of course, this is good for little kids, big kids, adults without kids, the whole family, even, I don't know, your furry friend.
Oh.
You can bring your dog on a leash. We'd love to see them. So that will be a really great event on Friday, May 23rd at 1 p.m.
All right. All these programs offered free of charge. If there's anything to pay for, it might be the gas or bringing your snacks. California Trail Interpretive Center May programs. All of these are listed online, right, Cheryl?
That's right. We've got a very active Facebook page and also on our website. And stay tuned because we have so many wonderful programs coming up this summer. You're not going to want to miss any of them.
Well, in fact, veering from the flyer, we're going to go right back into some of your talking points. I want to make sure that, let's see, if we got into all the things on the top. We are into trail days, Cheryl, and you did get your project or your field trip to Gravelly Ford figured out?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a big announcement on Friday, June 6th, before our Trail Days big event begins. We're not offering the California Trail Heritage Alliance, which is our friends group, shout out to the Alliance, love you guys. They are going to be offering a field trip into Gravelly Ford. And if you're not familiar with Gravelly Ford, it is a really important site that is along the California Trail that is on private land that you cannot access without a permit. And the Nevada Gold Mines only allows one permit per year. So this is a really wonderful and unique opportunity to get out and see some of the California Trail firsthand. And our signups aren't up yet, but they should be up within a week or so. So everyone check out our website. There's only going to be about 10 vehicle spots available. So if you're interested, keep your eye on our website. It's going to be up in about a week. We're going to have signups, and then we'll also give you a call because you will need four-wheel drive, high clearance, good tires, a spare tire, a jack, and some backcountry driving skills. This is going to be a real adventure. I'll be there. So
the only thing we're missing are the actual wagons and maybe the oxen, right?
Well, you can see those the next day at Trail Days.
Perfect.
So keep an eye out. That's going to be coming up. And one more thing that I really wanted to mention is bows and throws are back. So anyone that is a lover of throwing sharp objects, come on out on Sunday, May 25th at 1 p.m. Bows and throws are back. We'll be running them for a couple of hours. And as long as you're older than 8 years old, you will be able to come out, throw for an hour or two or until your arm gets tired, and then enjoy the rest of the trail center. Maybe bring a picnic lunch. I think a lot of people don't realize we have a beautiful picnic area, and you could also hike the trail at the same time.
Lots and lots to do at our California Trail Interpretive Center, free admission, and this summer is just going to be jam-packed. I know we're going to talk about Trail Days. Hopefully folks have already marked it on the calendar of June 7th and 8th. I've been reminding people that this is a perfect time to invite your family, your friends to come from out of town, because this is 2 exciting days of hands-on activities, and I want to make sure that people know that there is a very special guest, too, that you have arranged for. I'm already hearing a lot of buzz about her.
Oh, yes. Not one special guest. We'll talk about Samantha first, but we've got several special guests coming. So I just want to start off with saying everything at Trail Days is free. So that's the wonderful thing about bringing your family, and except if you want to buy a taco at the Shoshone taco truck. So that's different. You'll have to pay for that. But everything else is free. And we have some really special guests. So Samantha Sazorka, who is also known as Sagebrush Sam. I guess she's, Facebook famous, Instagram famous. She is actually a long ride discovery rider, and she will go out on 30-day rides with just her horse and her dog, and she will do these along the historic trail routes. So she's going to be presenting both Saturday and Sunday. You'll have to tune into our website to see exactly when. And she doesn't just talk about her adventures. She brings in her gear. I believe she's bringing her horse, which I am so excited about, and maybe even her dog. We'll see. But it's a full kind of sensory presentation. It's not just her talking. She'll be showing off all of her gear, lots of photos. She's an incredible photographer and videographer, so she'll have amazing things to back up her presentation and amazing things to present. So come on out to see Samantha. But also, we have a couple of Alliance members who will be making their very last presentations. And so if you have not been out for Anatomy of a Wagon or What Women Wore, this might be the last years that they are presented by these wonderful, incredible people that have been doing these for years. So come on out and say goodbye to some of our wonderful members that may not be out presenting again, and really, take in this wonderful knowledge that they have to offer. So we've got some really wonderful guests, and some of them are going to be, bittersweet appearances, unfortunately.
Oh, Cheryl, thank you for reminding us of that. Sometimes their enthusiasm, their passion, and their presentations can really fuel someone else to kind of step up and take, because we just had Gail Rappa on from Continuing Ed at GBC, and they're doing a costume class that coincides with Trail Days because they want folks to get into this pioneer spirit.
Yeah, and actually that's happening at the Trail Center, Lori. Oh. So Brenda, our wonderful seamstress, is actually the instructor for that class, and they're having it out at the Trail Center.
Perfect.
So get on the GBC website and sign up for that class. And a little shout out, you'll be able to make 4 different articles, Pioneer Clothes articles, articles. So a skirt, a dress, or a man's outfit. And Brenda will walk you through all of those pieces, and everything is simple enough to finish it in the one day. And then each day will be a new piece. So it's an amazing, and I think it's actually a really good price too. So sign up for that too. You will love learning from Brenda. She's incredible.
Oh, she is. And I'm so happy that she's lending her talents to that, Cheryl. What an amazing person to do that. And it leads into, volunteers. If you are a passionate person like Brenda is, and you love to share what you do, there's an opportunity. The museum, another great collaborator of our California Trail Interpretive Centers, hosting this volunteer fair to kind of mix and match people, right?
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm going to be there. So if you ever wondered what I look like in person, come on out to the May 8th Volunteer Fair. It's at 7 p.m. at Northeastern Nevada Museum, and there will be, I think, dozens of opportunities for people to match themselves with volunteer experiences that they might love, might be interested in. And so, even if you don't think you're interested, come on out and check it out, because you might be surprised. We're going to have about half a dozen volunteer positions that we're advertising there. And so I think you'll be surprised. There might be some amazing opportunities that maybe you didn't know about.
And they could inspire, again, careers, something that you would like to develop as a hobby. Maybe you're retired, maybe you're a student. There are all kinds of openings and opportunities for people to do just that. Cheryl, that sounds really exciting. And that volunteer fair, again, will be May 8th, coming right up, Northeastern Nevada Museum. And I just got to put in a word, because boy, we are going to miss our AmeriCorps people. Over the years, I've interviewed many of these students. So they've come from faraway places, and they've just loved learning about Nevada, and they helped our community so much. But now we're going to have this gap, so we need more people to step up and fill these openings.
Absolutely. We are going to need to rely on our community a lot more than we have before. And so if you ever had an inkling that you might have something to offer, and I bet you do, come on out to the May 8th Volunteer Fair at 7 p.m. We'd love to hook you up with something that will make your life richer and also make our community a better place for everyone.
Yeah, and sometimes those AmeriCorps volunteers fall in love with our community and they stay, which is so nice. So we appreciate that. That's been really cool in the past. Well, the last thing, you may have a last thing, but I don't want to overlook, a lot of parents right now are looking for cool summer things for their students and youngsters to do.
Yeah, so we are going to have a really fun day camp. We're actually going to have it twice out at the California Trail Center. It's called Pioneer Survival Day Camp, and it's for ages 7 to 12. We're going to be offering it twice, so it's going to be offered on July 18th and on August 8th, and it is going to be so much fun. They are going to have relay races. They are going to teach hunting skills. There's going to be fire building, a Dutch oven treat, probably, and some mapping and orienteering, and of course, a fun scavenger hunt. So it is going to be a great day, and if you can believe it, it only costs $25.
And it sounds like it includes some food, right? Some snacks, at least.
They'll have to bring their own lunch, but will include a delicious Dutch oven treat.
Yeah, that sounds great. So for only $25, 2 sessions of this day camp, the Pioneer Survival Day Camp for ages 7 through 12. Could you survive the challenges of the California Trail? You will learn more from Macy. Yeah, that's very
right.
cool.
And you sign up on the Nevada Outdoor School website, just like all the rest of their camps. So this is run through the Nevada Outdoor School, but it's taking place out at the California Trail Center, and it will be super fun. And, send your kids. Maybe they'll teach you something.
Well, absolutely. They'll certainly know what to put in the glove box the next time you head out across the salt flats, I'm sure.
That's right.
Well, Cheryl, thank you. Did we get to all the things you were hoping to today?
I think we did. I've always got more, Lori, but
I
I think we got to everything that I had laid out. Clint had such important things to share, and this is the kickoff of the fire season and hopefully the kickoff of our fire information station. So Clint and I have been working on a project together to introduce a fire information station in the lobby of the California Trail Center. So any day it is going to be up, and it's going to have lights, and it's going to have tons of great information so that everyone coming through the center will be up on all their prevention that they should be doing, all of the risk that's out there, and also maybe some of these forecasts so they can kind of look out and forecast out for their summer for all of their trips, hunting, camping, fishing, all of that good stuff. So keep your eye out for the fire information station. It's going to be up any day in the lobby.
Sounds like a great plan. I did want to put in one quick plug too. I believe that South Fork State Park is hosting a wildfire prevention event tomorrow, and I think it starts like at 9 or 10. And I understand. Oh, go ahead.
That was today, actually.
Was it today?
The flyer,
I'm so
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, I think the flyer.
I get so mixed up with Fridays and Saturdays because I'm not a student, so I'm not out of school. I apologize, you guys. I hope you had a fun event and that you take those fire prevention messages to heart. So, Clint, did we inspire you to think of anything else?
No, I think I've taken up enough time.
No,
So,
you never take too much time.
There's going to be more to come. We just really, I know prior seasons my job is kind of to paint that doom and gloom picture, and a lot of those forecasts have not come to fruition, but this could possibly be the year. Just things seem to be lining up a little bit more than they have in the past. So mow around your homes, clean up around your homes, and just take that fuel down. If you have a neighbor that's a little bit older, can't get around very well, and you got a little bit of spare time on your hands, please do something around their home for them. Yeah.
Oh, help out your neighbor. Clint, thank you so much. Yep. And Cheryl, we appreciate both of you for being on the program today, as you do at least once a month, from our public lands, our BLM district here in Elko, California Trail Interpretive Center, and of course with fire mitigation, education, and investigation information. Wow, that's a lot. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lori.
Thank you, listeners, for joining us for Elko Live today.